Hello and welcome to the first ever competitive bingo match. This is the opening match of the Hitman Bingo tournament presented by Providence between Meekah and some random person. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of questions about the format and the game mode, so I will very shortly show a quick introduction to this format. But very first I want to introduce the co-caster and admin of this match, Curry. Hi.
Hello everyone, hope you are ready for this exciting match.
Yeah, really excited and nervous at the same time, so but I think it's gonna be great. Really curious how it will work, but yeah, I think let's listen to Crudy talk us through the format. So let's switch scenes in a moment.
So you want to know how Hitman Bingo works? Let me explain. In Hitman Bingo, two players will face off to complete a number of randomised tiles on a 5x5 bingo board. The first player to complete the necessary amount of tiles takes the map and the all-important point. Tiles can range from obtaining a disguise, interacting with an item, picking up an item, or pacifying a specific NPC. There are two types of bingo that will be played in the tournament. Number 1, Lockout Bingo. A head-to-head race to complete a total of 10 tiles from the board. Whoever completes an objective first locks out the square and their opponent can no longer claim that objective. This one is all about strategy. Do you try and take easy tiles before your opponent gets them, or do you think outside the box? Number 2, Non-Lockout Bingo. In this mode, both players can claim the same tile in a race to complete 2 full lines of 5 squares from the board. Lines can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, and squares can be completed in any order. Additional rules. All players must start in a suit location and can only bring in or smuggle items that make up part of 47's default loadout: an ICA variant pistol, fibre wire, and coins. Target kills can be made at any point in the run using any available method unless a tile states otherwise. All secondary objectives must also be completed. Finally, a tile can only be completed if the player has green guns when the objective is met. Each map will run with a 45-minute timer, and the first to finish takes the point. This is Hitman Bingo.
Well, any questions about that? Maybe I could mention the first 20 seconds that I hope everyone got the basics of it.
I think that was a very well explanation indeed.
Yeah, and thank you so much to Crudy for making it. And also, it's a real team effort, the things that you see on the screens. The overlay was made by Mendo on the visual side, and then Curry made it into a very nice automatic system so that everything works. The promo art was made by JK Punk, and also the including the logo, I guess. And yeah, this video by Crudy is also a very nice addition, which is definitely worth showing for quite a few matches. But less than a minute to go now. It's not like we only get the timer going down from 45 minutes, so the board will soon be revealed to the players as well. We can already see it, but we'll only go it through when I guess the signal is given, which I'm not sure how would we know about if there's no admin here.
I suppose if the timer starts ticking down, it is the time, the signal for us that the match has officially started. But yeah, it's only a couple more seconds away. We sadly don't have fake Diana talking to us, but I'm looking at my clock now. And yeah, the match has started.
Yeah, historic moment, I guess. There are some talks about like mentioning all the tiles, but I think it's not feasible to mention all 15. And once again, a very quick description. In a non-lockout 1v1 match, your goal is to finish the mission with Silent Assassin, killing all the targets, and scoring 2 full lines of 5 tiles. So rows, columns, or diagonals. You need to get 2 of those. Very important basic rules as well is that you start in your suit and with default loadout, or with a maximum of default loadout. You can not bring a fiber wire, I guess. And yeah, let's see. Meekah with not too many frames, but with some determination to get the first points on the board. And is that a crash already or not?
Oh yeah, it looks like a crash from Meekah.
Yeah, maybe it's just an alt tab. I guess we'll see if it persists.
It is a crash.
Oh, he mentioned?
Or yeah, he mentioned he has to restart Hitman.
Oh, great. This is this is actually perfect to talk about the crash rules already, because Randy's still reading the tiles. We don't respin or restart anything. Timer goes down, keeps going down, and what happens then is that you don't lose your tiles, so you can pick it up where you started, but of course targets would have to be killed again. But yeah, Meekah will be making his way back, and Randy has made it to the morgue, starting right there.
Indeed, and yeah, by the looks of things, might just be claiming a first tile very soon here, become a morgue doctor. Oop, but that is very certainly front KO.
I give one more refresh just in case, and then because Meekah had some drop ones, not much has been spoiled, but you know, just in case.
Yeah. And yeah, we can also already see slight difference in the players here. Randy starting in the morgue, while Meekah is starting absolutely default loadout, default start even, in 47 suit, getting Yuki immediately at the start. Just yeah, one less thing to worry about.
I think that's the big conundrum of Hokkaido. Do you start default and get Yuki out of the way, or do you want to start closer to the action, which would be like the morgue or the restaurant, and get some other tiles quicker? But of course, tiles and targets both a factor, and you just have to make sure to prioritize the right ones. Randy with the second tile became a bodyguard. He also could have become a morgue doctor, but he might not just be looking for that tile just yet.
So funny though, because it's literally right next to the one he claimed hides someone in the incinerator. But I mean, there is no... We're not forcing players, obviously, to mark anything. We're encouraging them to... Yeah, mark them, quote-unquote, as soon as possible, to not intentionally hide your progress, but...
which of course,
just, yeah.
Which applies to the two rows that you're going for, the two lines you're going for.
Yeah, exactly. That's just something Randy won't go for anyways. It doesn't, like, he doesn't need to claim it just now.
Yeah. Meekah on a coin trail tour, but cannot get the director just yet. But I think the plan was to blow out this gas canister in Yuki's balcony. Blow up Yuki's gas heater lamp, yes, the top right corner. So Meekah is probably going for row 1, which would mean the toxin, the pacification, the frying pan, and increasing the sauna temperature. I think other than the Botox, it's quite easy if you have dry disguise.
Yeah, it should be pretty doable. Randy technically having more tiles already. 3 at the time, looks to be doing column 4, and by the looks of things now row 3 as well, with this crowbar collection.
Yes, the crowbar, and it's also important for a couple of tiles because there are items hidden in cabinets, which can only be opened by a lockpick or crowbar, but you don't have a lockpick with your default loadout.
Indeed. Randy, while he's down there, looking to wallbang Soders.
Which is probably going to be the main kill for Soders, which is expected, but not an issue, I guess, either or. It's just something that will happen, or in Miami, like the Sierra sniper or Sierra car kill with the pistol.
Yeah, exactly. Just stuff that will inevitably happen in each match, I suppose, especially in Hokkaido. So does, yeah. Most of the time you have the two. You either have the wall bang, or in some other runs, like an explosive to the window, but I don't think you can even get any explosive on map in Hokkaido. So that is not really an option, and it would just be the wall bang 99% of the time, I think.
I think so too. And so an aspect of non-lockout is that restarting means that you lose all your progress. It's a kind of risky situation for Meekah trespassing in the kitchen, and two NPCs could enforce him, so you have to watch out for these head turns. But also already distracted the other one, and they might turn towards each other at the same time. So I think another distraction might be best.
Looks like he's fine though. Randy, doing bit of mission story, killing Yuki in the sauna with the prompt even.
Something you don't see in other game formats. Any methods are always work here. Of course, you get an unskippable cutscene here, but I think Randy will take it. Both objectives down, but of course needs those 2 lines.
Exactly.
And now Meekah is in the same situation where Randy started his map, trying to get this morgue doctor, and perhaps even hiding in the incinerator, but I think it's only about the doctor at the moment. Although, thinking about it, maybe neither are directly helpful to his first, second rows.
Okay. Doing 2 things at once here, and immediately pacifying someone with a frying pan and hiding in the incinerator.
It's good for 2 in 1, and I think it is 5 tiles each at the moment, and no collective, no finished tiles, lines. These turns will be a bit messy. There's the blending in for Randy, which, oh right, it's the middle tile. And Meekah gets the wallbang, yeah.
Getting the wallbang indeed. Both targets down for both players, looking really solid for both. Randy on his way, purchasing him some soda. He's 2 tiles away from finishing both his remaining knives, and that is a rip from Meekah.
The director ending his run. So of course he's an enforcer, and Sodas was dead already, so the hospital goes on a different tour, I guess. The cycles change. So unfortunate for Meekah, and of course both players know that it is going to be quite the end of the map, but of course Randy has to keep his green guns while getting these last 2 tiles, the hammers and the patient.
Indeed, yeah, we can see the thing in non-lockout. You do lose all your tiles upon a restart. So also Randy, if he has an eye on the bingo page, which I assume he does know that he is very well in the lead right now. Has collected both hammers, only needs to become a patient, which is almost trivial at this point.
Fairly simple, unless any NPCs make it here around the 7-minute mark. You never know, but it seems safe, and the lure will do it. Yeah, quite close until that one restart.
Indeed.
I think Randy was ahead either way, but I think tile-wise they were close, and Meekah was just a bit later on the objectives while staying on the same amount of tiles. So it's hard to say, but Randy takes the first point, which was Meekah's pick.
Indeed. Here's the exit with green guns and 2 row/columns as required.
Did the director just say bingo on Meekah's side? Or am I just making it up?
Maybe. Never know.
Yeah, he did.
Alright.
Nice. Yeah, this concludes the first map, and of course Curry has some caretaking to do before we enter the second map, which is Santa Fortuna. Yeah, nice, yeah, field advising.
The director doing our job.
Also on my end, I can refresh the player pages, and it's apparently my end that Randy's screen doesn't fit the whole thing. Could that be possible?
Wait a
854 by 480. Because they are the same size. Huh. Well, just things to talk about in the first first match. There are just a lot of things we have to iron out with experience. But
yeah, literally first time ever doing this, basically.
But at least on the technical side, it didn't have to start with delays, and well, I guess there was the Meekah crash, but it didn't really change much. There was a theoretical 3-minute photo finish window for Meekah to finish, but he was just too much behind because of the restart, so couldn't even take his crash into account.
Indeed. Yeah, we will be traveling to Santa Fortuna in a couple of minutes.
No, it was my resolution, so just quietly fixing it before the next map. But now I think the both streams should be ready for Santa Fortuna with quite a few suit options. Oh wait, now it's I have to. Just some more interaction with OBS for me to spend the time until 46 past the hour, which is just under 3 minutes. Now it's going to work.
All right. So yeah, it's first to 1.5 points, which means a tie would actually be enough for Randy here to take this. Because, well, we award 1 point for a map victory, half a point for a map tie.
Well, 1.5 points is basically just a roundabout way of saying if it's a tie after 2 maps, we go to decider. If it's not, then the one who leads takes it all, which is of course either 2-0 or a 1.5 against half points. And
basically, yeah.
And you already know where the third map would be for the no time limit decider. It is Chongqing, but for that Meekah has to take Randy's pick.
And I guess if we can say one thing, it is definitely that as a random person is quite quite comfortable on Santa Fortuna. Longer map. Playing a bit in his cards, I think. So yeah, definitely interested to see how this is gonna play out. Less than a minute to go for yeah, we start Santa Fortuna.
So can you let us know about the backstage for just a couple more seconds? I think you reset the timer and set up the second spin.
Yes.
But, haven't been revealed yet, of course.
By the looks of things, yeah. Not quite sure why it is not on stream yet, but I'm pretty sure as soon as we reveal it in a couple of seconds here, we will be going at it.
No, not yet. So
What?
this is where I refresh. And again. And for the third time, just in case. But yeah, no Santa Fortuna spin just yet. So
That is okay. A bit weird. The players do have their cards, so they can already go ahead and play. I will do some backstage magician stuff to hopefully give us the card as well.
yeah, it's 25 tiles, so it will take a minute or so until, of course, they start. Both players are just looking at the board and thinking if the bus stop start would be the ideal one for an early Andrea kill. Starting at the Shaman's Hut and approaching maybe Jorge first and the Shaman tiles, as we can see the bingo board now, thank you.
Alright.
And I think the third option would be, of course, the bar area where Randy has already started, gets the coins as well, which would be quite good for barman and P-Power and fishing village tiles. But of course that means that Andrea probably won't be eliminated with the peekaboo.
Yeah, target elimination. I think on Santa Fortuna might be something where you have to bit more thinking about it in comparison to Hokkaido, where in Hokkaido you can just Soders won't move ever, so that's pretty free. And Yuki has her the one timing you have to memorize, the 2:30, not 2:30, but like the sauna timing.
It's always 2:30 except when it's not, but it's the exception.
Exactly.
That Yuki doesn't have anything there. And Meekah started in the village as well and rang the service bell already. This is probably one of the quickest tiles in Santa Fortuna, which is something to keep in mind for Lockout. And of course this can mean that column 1 or row 3 would be an option. And let's see what tiles he has there, especially from the village perspective. I think actually most other tiles wouldn't be around here, with the Hector picture, gardener blending in, vacuum cleaners, etc. But he can go for the sinks, which he has already turned on 1. Might just be looking for 2 more in this place. Public area for the most part, so he may get question marks, but nothing illegal. I will keep green guns. Randy gets a meaty bone, considering picking up the kitchen knife. Not sure there is a tile for that, but that would be illegal.
Jeez. And he might just look to kill Andrea in her downstairs meeting room now.
Seems like another viable approach when you don't start main and go immediately to Andrea for a peekaboo. You work around this area for a minute or two and then just get her downstairs, where she is going right now for both players for a kill about 2 minutes. Kill at about 2 minutes. If you're getting a non-trespass in disguise, is there a street soldier? I don't really see at the moment, so it's just going to help him traverse this area.
Yeah, by the looks of things.
And Randy
I can't
kill.
Yeah. See the tile either got a bit of interest from that guard, but should be fine.
and Meekah made the unfortunate mistake of not crouching after shooting the evidence, because the guard who sees or hears the camera box being shot turns toward 47. Well, not directly, but that was the direction the box would be to him. And if they see 47 at all, so not crouching, then it's actually delayed illegal action. So that's a reset for Meekah, and loses his... well, it was one tile for sure, the service bell, but loses some couple minutes of progress.
Yeah, and I feel like we already can have a feeling that Santa Fortuna is going to take a bit longer than Hokkaido already. Just by we've been at this for like just over 5 minutes, and we see 2 claimed tiles across the board with only 1 restart. So yeah, not
a lot has happened. Yeah. Rent is going for the glue tile, which is row 1, second tile. And the way you can get it is either talk to the other shopkeeper near Andreas' compound as the hippie, or you need to pacify the mechanic working on this car right behind 47. Also gets a coconut, which is a hot topic in chat for now, because of the meta, including how to get some coconuts from above, from the falling coconuts. And he will not go for the glue. Not go for the glue just yet. But Meekah is going for the evidence again.
Let's see. This time he crouches and even waits a bit more, so he'll be fine.
Ultra safe indeed, and Randy gets the Gardener disguise, which is not a tile by itself, I don't think, but blending as Gardener will work perfectly for column number 1. And there it is. Also, the reason why I had to refresh them so often is, of course, now the action will be delayed on the board because it has a no delay, as opposed to the Twitch delay, so something to keep in mind for the long delay users. Meekah also couldn't get the coconuts. Basically, the strat is to place a tile under where the coconuts would fall. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case this time around. Like, coins don't work as often as I heard from Mendo.
By the looks of things. One person inside the mansion right now. Not too sure what his plan is right now. Might just also want to look at the Rico kill while he's already here.
In this area, there are the vacuum cleaners in the adjacent room and also 2 floors above. So that could be a reason. I think he's probably looking for one of them. And then the picture, perhaps, if he's going for... Well, of course, we don't know his second line just yet. It can be anywhere. As Meekah is really low on frames at the moment, which happened just right before his crash. Hopefully won't be the case again. Randy takes a crowbar in the meantime. And the second coconut from this pantry, storage room.
Alright, yeah, Meekah's reporting that he is gonna restart his game again because apparently he's having a bit of technical issues with the game, being laggy and unresponsive. So he's gonna restart that. We are gonna handle it like a crash though. so he can keep his one marked tile, but he has to start from the beginning again, basically.
Yeah. Another important moment though is if when did Randy get the coconuts and with which guns, because you have to have green guns for that. And when he got the second coconuts, he might have been yellow guns because he got those upon entering the mansion. And if that's the case, then this tile cannot be claimed by Randy, but unless otherwise he has to start it over. I was a bit afraid of him dropping that structure. Wasn't sure if anyone was below that, but no non-target kill, and gets the 2 vacuum cleaners now. Almost 8.5 minutes into the run for Randy, and 3 or 4 tiles depending on how this will be ruled by the admin. And
it's under investigation.
But Randy gets the unfortunate truth about the mansion being very bad for sound. He cannot get a lure on basically anyone but the mate from the floor below. And I don't think this room works either. If Randy wants to throw an item in here, it will be the guard downstairs who investigates. That's the question mark, so doesn't really want to work out for Randy, thanks to the mansion. Now the investigation for something for Randy. This is what happens in Bingo late in the run. So many distractions turned on. And the dimension stuff is just going into the room to investigate the sink. And there's the guard coming. Who listened to the shot from below, I guess. Randy gets the Rico kill though. He's going to hide him, of course, because Catalina sometimes routes here and another person comes in here. The mansion is a beautiful place. It's just not as functional as other parts of the map.
Right. Investigation has concluded that Random did indeed pick up his second coconut while yellow gunned. Therefore, this won't count towards the collect 2 coconuts objective. He can still technically claim that by grabbing just another coconut.
Yeah, no, it has to restart from scratch. The coconut tile, the correct tiles have to start from the beginning if you mistakenly claim them. So Randy needs 2 of those, and of course just the second line somewhere. As far as coconuts go, Randy can pick up a couple from the hanging coconuts batch in the hippo area, as Meekah gets trolled yet again by this pile. And Meekah gets the Andrea kill, of course. So much behind, but Randy can still rip, although it's not really his type to restart, but Meekah also gets a close call. Beat the civilian. So Meekah ringing the bell now, and the tie was claimed far in the past, so I'm going to give him a courtesy restart just in case. From 302 we advance to not too much further, so I think it was just a
no, it was
speculative tire claim.
Exactly, still had that claimed from before his quote-unquote game crash. So yeah, he could keep that, but just did it again for good measure. Right, in the meantime, collecting his 2 meaty bones. Still green guns, so he's fine there. He could also obviously now have opted to go for another line. If he now says, well, collecting 2 other coconuts now, kind of not what he wants to do here, but seeing how the collect 2 meaty bones is also in line with the collect 2 coconuts, he might still go for that, just needs to grab more coconuts, basically.
Right. So for Randy, it is still viable to get that second draw. It was another close call with the Enforcer, but I think it's quite consistent to be alright. Meekah has to restart again, unfortunately. As Randy is going for the speedboat keys, trying to dodge this Enforcer. Another close call by Randy.
Just checking that it is indeed the speedboat key. And yes, it is. That tile is claimed.
And Meekah now starts with the service bell, so he won't forget it. So Randy going for a gas heating lamp, unless it's named differently on heat maps. Let's go Santa Fortuna, check that, because I'm pretty sure it's not a gas canister. Yeah, it has to be named identically, so that was a gas heater lamp explosion, the gas canister. All the rules are being showcased in this first match. Of course, it's really a lot to take in, but it's also really hard to be on top of everything from the player side, but also from the admin side, especially when it's the first ever match in this format. Randy will go for the coconuts eventually. That's
has got the message about the gas heater lamp versus gas canister thing.
Good. And
he had hopes about it, apparently.
Luckily, it wasn't noticed, and has to just unmark and then go for a different one. So, number of coconuts. He got his second one with yellow guns, so that could probably mean that number 3 and number 4 were his green gun coconut, because he's on 4 currently. So, he either needs a 5th one, or he already claimed it.
No, he was on 4 and then cleared his cameras. So if he's on, he was on 2. Sorry, he was on 2 and then cleared cameras. So, and he's not red, so he obviously has collected 2 coconuts just fine. And yeah, again, missing on only 2 tiles. The wind-up toy, which is basically a simple interaction, and gas canister.
But now entering the submarine territory, he's going to be trespassing as mentioned guard. He needs an elite guard, for example, or a dodge and weave around this place. And Meekah with the video gets the 2 coconuts. Might be behind, but let's say small win for him, and could also ring the service bell or claim the tile now, because this round he definitely got it, and Randy gets to restart because the corner subdue was seen by other people. It's a major restart for Randy. 15 minutes of progress gone. But Meekah forgets about the crouching, so another restart for him as well. Back to square one with 27 minutes to go.
Basically both players, yeah, on square one again.
Probably one advantage of the bingo part is that despite the start being chaotic, because no one knows which tiles people will go for, now we have quite a good understanding that Randy will go for the second row and the first column, so can picture how it will go down, becoming barman, and then have a go at the coconuts again, and then the Andrea kill, of course.
Yeah, and I assume he's going to be more careful about that this time as well, with yellow guns and the coconuts. That, well, definitely costs him a bit of time having to go for new coconuts, but yeah, if he can just grab both without yellow gunning himself in the meantime, while not being yellow gunned, that's just gonna make it a bit quicker.
For sure. Randy picks up the soda can and can't help but think it's actually going to become the first meta of this format, placing the soda can or suit. Meekah with a close call with potential head turns there, but nothing of the sorts. Still green guns, and which might turn yellow for the time being, but no, because he will erase. He will shoot this camera and erase the evidence soon enough.
And also Randy, I think, yeah, has had enough. The camera is just gonna take them out here in the compound this time as well.
A relief for the admins as well, because no yellow guns will be possible for Randy in this run at least. Meekah realized the service bell.
Neat.
And for the Randy kill, I think Randy was a bit scared if the door was still open or not, but no, it was closed already, so that's the first kill. Once again down for Randy, and the barman disguise acquired, not going for the coconuts this time. He will get free ones.
I think just as last time, I don't think he wants to yeah, have to take care of that one guard, like play around with the falling coconuts. Not sure if he they're not marked as coconuts on the map, are on hit maps, are they? They are. Okay,
the falling coconuts are marked, but as a distraction or sabotage. I think it's distraction category.
Sabotage, but
sabotage, yeah. Yeah, and it's very confusing when I had the sabotage coconut selected and the minor meltdown and so this buggy coconuts and thought if the tile has to go all together, but no, that's not the case, luckily. Plenty of coconuts to be acquired. Randy with the gardener into blending in strategy again. Takes the shovel as well, but I think the reason was just that, using a quick distraction, because there is no shovel tile here.
That's the blending in done from Randy.
And the first column is being filled in. Meekah shoots the timber log.
Going for something new, possibly.
I do hope that's a... Just going to double check if that's under destroy, but if it is, of course, it can be shot. And yeah, no, not going to be yellow guns for Randy this time, but still the same basement action. And now he knows where the coconuts are and the vacuum cleaners.
That's 2 coconuts. Already claimed that tile.
And the first vacuum cleaner, the second one is being 2 floors above. It is near Hector's room.
And also second meaty bone acquired.
Much quicker progress, of course, this time. And Meekah's turning away back towards the village this time. From 2 points, it's not always obvious which rows or columns you would go to.
I think he might still be arguing with himself what to go here exactly. So, second vacuum cleaner for Randy. Just needs to cast gas canisters. Speedboat key, which we also already saw him acquire in a previous run.
It's right in this room. I'm going to use a bullet distraction, of course. 2 heads which could turn his way, and then it's quite unfortunate, but he can use a distraction to turn anyone away, but it's not going to happen. What is the case in this mansion?
Sound travels differently here.
Everyone else reacts but the maid. Making this key tile much more difficult than originally intended. But of course,
he's just gonna go for it, yeah.
Wanted to be a bit more careful. Now he has the key. And 2 tiles away, but also 2 targets away, Rico and Jorge not to be neglected. Especially with the default loadout. Tried his luck, maybe Rico would react to this. But no, sadly not. Meekah with the Hippo clear out. He will become the Hippo Whisperer in just a moment. And that was not me, just because I read some accusations for the sound effects. It was from someone else. But Randy being on better timing, I think he wants to clear this area out, but oh, Rico's so close, and he cannot hide the body in time, so he has to delay him with coins until the other guard arrives.
And also that guard is now interested in some of the coins.
But as long as he enters this room and the door is closed, I think it will be a decent isolation. Oh, I was worried about the body being in a way. And Meekah turns red because body was found in the bushes, but at this point it's just so hard to say who was it. I think it was the Whisperer or that other guard, judging by the picture-in-picture.
Possibly, yeah.
Because not others weren't hidden in foliage, not even the barman, I don't think.
Yeah, big advantage, again, to some random person. He was at this point before. 2 gas canisters, the wind-up toy, and Jorge kill. No seeker for Jorge, though. So, definitely interested to see what their approach for Jorge is going to be. Maybe we're going to see some helicopter pilot shed isolations. Or even some quote-unquote mission story stuff.
Mission story always a great bet because any method, any disguise, default loadout basically was meant for these, or these are meant for these situations. But for Jorge in general, it's probably a shed ISO, well-placed propane perhaps, or you can't really electrocute, right? Because carburetors aren't close by.
And that's the wind-up toy for Randy. 1 tile and 1 kill missing.
And if, yeah, it didn't... Hitmaps was right, and these are 2 gas canisters next to each other, which is kind of jackpot situation. He cannot confirm the item here, but gets the 2 explosions and gets the last tile. Jorge, Franco, is the last objective to be completed before the 2-1 victory, 2-0 victory. Meekah also unfortunate because there was a moment when they were tied again and going different directions, so the 1-1 tie was much more of a possibility back then as it is now, because Randy just needs 1 kill, and although he's not trespassing, he has done plenty of Jorge kills in that shed.
Helicopter pilot still enforcing him, but yeah, won't be an issue. And looks like the timing is pretty decent for Jorge. By the looks of things, he's just arriving again. That body might be lying a bit out in the open there.
Oh, that's a really unfortunate ragdoll. Yeah. I think that's a good call at the end, because it was quite scary. Now he's just passing inside. I think that's almost all disguises. I'm not too familiar with this room. And this doesn't work, and it depends on cycles now. And it is seen by outside, so Randy has to restart.
Ooh.
15 minutes to go. And a last glimmer of hope for Meekah. He needs to win Santa Fortuna to save this to a map number 3. So he can't hope for a tie. He needs to finish it off and quicker than Randy, but he has a 3.5mm advantage, and he knows about the advantage because, of course, when the tiles were removed, that's when Randy had to restart.
Indeed. So now with Santa Fortuna taking a bit of time, any restart could be the last one. Last of Randy's approaches was, I think, somewhere around 10 minutes, which would mean he can rip within the next, 2 to 3 minutes once, and then have one full attempt at it, or otherwise might just be over for him.
I think Randy can finish, but will he be able to finish? Or, of course, Meekah stops the timer early. Oh, Randy gets a close one, because his gun was still equipped. I think he missed the camera and wants to just... Oh, wanted to get something else in the meantime with the ring bell, but Meekah with the head turns and just passing, trying to get the gardener didn't work out for him. So now it's a 13-minute round for Meekah, which never really got to the second, third target, so we don't know how quick he will be.
Indeed.
Of course he will try to be as quick as possible, even if it will mean that some risk will have to be taken, but of course we don't really know which tiles he may go for, if it's any quick or risky, or a combination. Randy gets the first kill though, and needs to think about the cameras. Turns yellow, you'll have to turn green, of course.
But he'll just do that here. Got a bullet impact noticed, but yeah. And just run away and it'll be fine.
Meekah getting those sinks. That was one in the bar area, and being 1 minute in, I think that's only 1 out of 3 for him. We have seen him getting the barbershop sink for 2, and then of course Andrea Compound has a couple, at least 1. And also these rooms, which of course non-trespassing we've seen before, so Meekah trying to make that third row work. Randy going with the tried and tested column 1, row 2, 9 tiles he has to get, but of course the 3 targets as well. There's a disguise, can't blend in as gardener yet, but
bit early on the click.
yeah, he became one, but now he can blend in as well.
He blended in.
Meekah with Andrea. No one heard that, I think.
And that's a rip from Randy. He
Wow.
got trolled by the lock-on. And we'll have to restart. And this might just be his last restart. He still has a shot at this.
10.5 minutes. Yeah, and Randy got there at 11, so needs a different Jorge kill or he will have no time. Well, that is from Randy's side, of course. Meekah can finish. He's 2.5 minutes into, so if he gets an 11-minute Jorge last kill, then it's theoretically possible, but we just don't know where he wants to go after this. And after I guess after the first 6 minutes, because we have seen him in the construction area, then becoming a Hippo Whisperer, but the end game hasn't been figured out just yet. Crouch is nice. And we go for the service bell, most likely, and that is about it as far as the village tiles go. Randy also ringing the service bell, making it 2 tiles claimed by both players. And of course the first column is something that both of them are going for.
Yeah, first column here, I think. With these 2 tiles claimed by each player. I mean, we know for a fact that Random is trying to go for that. I mean, he had it at some point. Meekah has been trying several things. Switching it up a little bit sometimes. So he used Timberlock last time, became the Hippo Whisperer. He could have looked at column 3. Or something else entirely.
So by categorizing these remaining tiles, the picture, Hippo Whisperer, Secret Door, Gardener, and Vacuum Cleaners are both, well, all mansion related. I think the Secret Door being the most out of the way in that garage. So it's not impossible to get these tiles in 4 or 5 minutes and get just 1 tile away from completion, but the targets. Meekah gets the Gardener. We'll be blending in just a moment. But Randy turned around and I think he will open a secret door. Not quite sure if that's a change of plans. Or just a quicker way to get around, because the 2 gas canisters is closer this way. We'll see if he marks this one. He hasn't yet.
Oh, now he has.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of going through his mind. He wants to. So if he's of course now one tile closer to row number 3, but he also tried and tested row number 2. So I think it's a lot to consider at the moment, especially because he needs to be quicker than his previous round. He can't afford an 11-minute third kill.
Indeed, going for the 2 gas canisters a lot earlier than his last attempts. Panicked basically the whole cave. It's an illegal disguise, but needs to be a bit careful of all the enforcers around here. But is still going for the wind-up choice, so that secret door might just not be relevant for him at the end.
You can consider it as an insurance, safety. If something really goes badly, he can return to that row. You can mark extra tiles, or you can mark however many tiles you want, if you claim them correctly, of course. So we might not see that 3rd row in the end, but basically confirms Meekah that, like, says hi to him in that tile. Meekah opened the secret door, and now he has to think a lot about how to get these 2 kills and 4 tiles in the last 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, both players not too far off from their end goal. Random getting both coconuts, getting both meaty bones.
Meekah will be getting the picture now and then go to the Hippo Whisperer, perhaps. This is an illegal action for some reason. I think it's mission story related. But gets it no problem. And vacuum cleaners, Whisperer, and canisters. And 2 kills, however, so a lot to do with Rico as well. You cannot find a vacuum cleaner, Meekah. It's a yeah, it's an adjacent room, almost there. As Randy shows it, Meekah just went past the vacuum cleaner. That's unfortunate. It's or is he just not going for it? Am I just
not sure?
Now, yeah, it's column 1, so of course he has to. And there is none on this floor, so it's floor above and floor below. But did he turn on the vacuum cleaner he went past? Is my question.
Did not see him do that.
There's the basement one. And I also believe that is his first one.
Yeah, and I think might just be looking up the location of the second one again.
Yeah. He'll be kicking himself because it was on his point of view for a bit. And now he's running upstairs. I mean, it's not quite the roulette brain, but the time pressure and the competitive environment will make you question every decision, no matter the format.
Indeed. Also, time ticking down even further. The timer on stream is sadly about a minute off.
Oh, really?
At this point, yeah, I think because of the technical stuff at the start, on stream timer is a bit delayed.
So that means that they have 1 minute remaining instead of 2 minutes remaining.
They have 2 minutes remaining, basically, at this point. Yeah, the match will end at 31 past the hour.
Of course, as long as it's the proper playing time for the players, that's what matters. And for Randy, it will be, I think it's a Hail Mary propane kill. Is everything you got?
He also is still missing 1 tile, though. He still needs the speedboat key, and I think that's where he's running towards right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't have time to deal with this enforcer at all. It's just to run in and either get it or don't.
Yeah, basically, but can't take too long. There's the key and the last tile, 1 target remaining.
Yes.
31 past is when it's ending.
Yes, so it is 1 minute.
Oh, I guess our clocks run differently because there's just
yeah, a bit less than 1 minute.
Okay.
Meekah is complaining that the second vacuum cleaner is placed wrong on hit maps. Can confirm is not the case, or we can confirm.
Well, I mean, if it's the wrong side of the wall, which I'm starting to think it might be possible that it's slightly at a different place, but I went there already and turned it on due to heat map, so it's not off by a lot. Adjustments can always be made, and I think Randy is now enjoying this sun or extra light source, because we won't see a finish here, sadly.
Yes, no, the time is up. This match will end in a draw, which means each player will get half a point here.
And that is our final result, yeah, because it's first 1.5, or quote-unquote best of 3, with 3 maps being the maximum we play. And I kind of want to see Randy finish this off, since of course there's no match that we have to go to, so it would be an anticlimactic to just switch over. Just curious to see if he has anything for this finish, unless he, I guess, waits until the shed, which is 5 minutes or so, or about that. But yeah, this confirms the end result. Randy wins and advances to the next round, and the single elimination match means that Meekah is out. Had some quite good runs though. Just sadly not enough to force it to map 3.
The animal has emerged from the enclosure. He looks healthy and is acting like any other hippo.
And that's the end for
Indeed.
Meekah, yeah. And Randy gets the propane, so if you won't wait until the shed, just curious to see if he can get these green guns.
That would be impressive, to say the least. Bumping into the guards to separate them from Jorge a bit.
That's the plan, but Jorge also stops for coughing.
Yeah.
And now someone else comes here for some reason.
Rob that he just has to like find it again to aim at it. There it is. That's nicely done.
Still green. Probably nothing from extended illegal side. And Randy will finish with a 11.5 minute run, but just over that 45 minute allocated time for this spin, so half a point for each. And no, Meekah, we are not going to Chongqing, sadly. It is the end of the match. And end of our coverage, so let's go to the brackets. And on here it would be the second of the round 1 matches, and Randy will advance to play Janini in round 2. And hopefully both of them had fun. Sadly there's no losers bracket, so Meekah will end his competition here.
If you update the brackets, it should also be reflected on there. Or if they refresh them.
Try, just a bit. Takes a bit to do so, but there you go. Yanni, Randy in round 2, and the winner will play Chrome X or Lewis, which is already scheduled for tomorrow. And this also means that the upcoming matches can be refreshed, which I'll do in just a moment. And now we should be on the upcoming matches page, and Chromax and Lewis will be our next match actually, and followed by Chris and Carneto. 2 matches on Sunday, that is Central European Summer Time, you can see 9 and 10 p.m. And then we have one Monday match for the moment, Joker vs Sparkles, and of course a couple extra that could be scheduled or will be scheduled, of course. We got about a minute until these first second round matches should be completed, but 1 match, 2 matches a day will be sufficient to keep the brackets going. Oh, well, we got started in bingo. How did it feel, Curry?
Neat. New thing, definitely. Interesting. Yeah, interested to see how it played out, and I think it went quite well. And yeah, can't wait to see more of this.
Me neither. It will take definitely a lot to get used to, but for players, admins, casters will ease into it in the round. So just, I guess this is a disclaimer for the future matches as well, that be patient with us, I guess, but also with the players, because it's just such a complicated task to take in, as we could see with the Santa Fortuna tie. But that should be it from us, and thank you Curry once again for joining me and admitting this one.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. A bit stressful admitting this in the meantime, first time ever, but definitely was nice being here.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it will get easier, I'm sure. And
definitely.
And thank you for the players for participating. GG's to Randy for advancing. Thank you also Meekah for playing. And also thank you so much for watching, everyone. And hope to see you in the future matches, because we will have 19 matches in these 2 weeks, concluding on the 16th of April, so 2 weeks from now. And yeah, let's hope to see you for more bingo tomorrow or the coming days. Thank you for watching. See ya.